What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at 86 Alphonso Davies. He is the next rule breaker in Team 2 and looks absolutely phenomenal. A very, very good left back. And again, it kind of poses the question, Ferland Mendy, Roberto Carlos, Theo Hernandez and Davies are stealing the show. He is a 4-star, which is always nice. Left-footed with the high-low work rates. 6 foot, probably one of the better left wing backs you will find in the game. As you look at his stats across the board, look very, very nice. And we know we don't have any real need for pace for him, to be honest. 91 is fantastic. Obviously, the chemistry style everybody's going to want on him is an anchor to give him 96 pace, but then it also gives him 86 defending and also 86 physicality. In terms of the stats that we have seen kind of increased and decreased, he's had plus 17 on shooting, 6 on passing, he's had 4 on defending and dribbling, and then a cheeky plus 5 on his physical, losing out on only 5 pace. Obviously, he had 96 to begin with, so to be honest, still a very, very nice card. I think we are losing a little bit of coins on this one, so we will wrap it up really quickly because we paid 415 and he's currently coming in at 390. I thought, you know what, I want to get this review done. He looks very good. I'm hoping that the return is worth it because we are going to be losing probably about 50 to 60k off him. So I thought, you know what, we'll give him a go straight off the bat. Normally we would kind of wait a little bit and then kind of wait for the prices to settle that little bit more, especially with somebody this expensive. But he does look fantastic. Flair, going to add a nice kind of dynamic to your defense, especially as the Bundesliga gets stronger and stronger. And obviously we are going to be trying to get Ockbrook, or is it Oxford or Ockbrook? I think it's Oxford, the send back for the league player, done at the same time. So let's jump into him and see what Davies can do for us. Straight into Davis with the overlap. We already know that is going to be kind of his role. Yeah, we did win the throw-in as well, actually. I did think that that would have been the kind of big point for him. Alphonso with an overlap. You can see that high work rate coming into play here. Bamba's going to find him back and he's just going to blitz past everybody. To be fair, Mbabu keeping up with him very nicely. We do know Mbabu is, again, another solid right back in the Bundesliga. That is a solid ball and we have just missed out. It's a great defensive block. Haaland's going to find the missed ball and it's a beautiful goal to start with. Alphonso standing up to Ritz. He's going to watch that side again. Paulson's not going to know where to go and we are just going to play him completely there. And the good thing as well with Davis, also it's just a little side bonus if you are looking for an objective card. The one thing that's going to be really nice with him being this left wing back sort of card is that in the objective to get Ockbrook or Oxford, you have to score across, and that is going to be what we need. It's like 4 or 5 separate games, and there's number 1. He's going to be fantastic at doing that for you. On this one, let's see what we can find with him. He's going to look for Davies, who's gone for that overlap, and a beautiful ball in. Davis looking for the cross. Nobody's there with him. Haaland's made an appearance, and it's a good defensive tackle to the keeper. Oh, Davies is just blitzing everybody. You just know that this card, going into like team of the season, team of the year, you just know that he's going to be a fantastic card again. Haaland's going to find it here, though. Davis, beautiful recovery. Can we get it out? And that's a stunning pass as well. Zo's kind of point may be a little bit invalid there is that, what was it? The low work rate, is it? We've lost 2 out of there just from that side there. So yeah, the defensive work rate is low. So that potentially would tell me not to necessarily go well overboard with these sorts of runs unless you have maybe got 5 at the back. I think then that could be a potential just because you know you've almost got that backup. When I look for a ball here, it's going to find one into Haaland, but Heredek is going to do it and Bamba's going to try and find the shot. But in terms of Alphonso going forward, I would recommend, if you are using him almost as the left wing, somebody who's going to be constantly delivering these balls in, as you can see, even if you wanted to stop him, it isn't going to happen. Like, he's so quick. His body is just an absolute brick going forward. So you just know that that's always going to be a thing. Even when they know that literally you've been doing it every single time, you just always manage to get through with him and get at least a cross off, and nearly again Gnabry getting the second header. But I would recommend, if you are doing that necessarily in champs or if you're doing it in kind of like the higher stakes, I would always recommend 5 at the back for that, just because, you know, like even if now, if we watch him try and run back, sometimes you get some defenders and the pace is massive to get back, but you can kind of see there it's taking him a little bit to get back, and obviously he will have the stamina to do that, but over course that's going to be easily managed out from your opponent if they have something about them. And again, you can see him already walking forward to get it. Alphonso is going to watch. Sane's done a lovely chip shot in there, and we've just managed to catch up. And that is where the kind of benefits from Davies's pace will be, is that he's not going to be really outran by many people, if any. That's kind of like always a bonus with him. He is necessarily a very, very quick kind of left back in the game, to be honest, let alone in the Bundesliga. Probably game worthy is the top sort of pace that we're looking at. That is the pass that is worth it, though. Let's whip across in with Davies. I feel like this is going to be the moment to get it. We've got a lot of people in the box, a lot of height people, and Pavard comes in, doesn't manage to. I'm surprised we didn't have Haaland there instead. Davies winning the header as well. He's constantly on it, but we know full well that left back role is completely unmarked unless Bamba's there. Davies, we've kind of kept him quiet for the remainder of that first half. Second half, we know that he's still kicking, but he actually made the save that time in terms of tackling him. Bamba, oh, trying to find it, trying to force him past Frimpong then. I really didn't think Frimpong was in the game anymore. With Alphonso as well, mid-game update on his price, he is now down to 350. We bought him at 415, which again was mainly for the review. I necessarily wouldn't really buy a player like this at this price so early on, especially when we know how the market's going to work in terms of him. He is a very good player, don't get me wrong, but we know what players at the moment are like. Unless they are like insanely meta, there's just no chance that they stay at it. And I guarantee we'll see Suarez, who literally will not be a million coins anymore. I guarantee that. Davies getting rid of it, does enough, and that's a poor pass from myself out there. So going into the overall for Davies then, he has come in now at 335, which is just mental that literally in the space of about, what, 30-40 minutes, he's dropped almost 100k. Obviously was expecting it to drop a little bit. Didn't think it'd drop 100k, but that is sometimes you win, sometimes you lose them. We do know that obviously these sort of cards are not going to hold their price very well, but who knows? You never know with him. He probably will drop down a further bit, to be honest, because I think in terms of left back in the Bundesliga, obviously he's not going to really be matched. But if you go for left backs in the game, you got Theo, Furland, and probably Roberto Carlos in terms of my books. But again, there is still players out there that kind of go with different ones. Furland probably still being people's main choice. Obviously 83, very solid at the very minimum. But then obviously we have got the anchor on him, which just well rounds him very nicely. His dribbling is just exquisite for a left back. Great defending, physicals are nice. You've also got the shooting. I think in general with this card, he's kind of looking towards more the left mid, left wing role than actually defending, especially if you went something like a Hunter on him instead. You can really like see something a bit different with him. But I think anchor definitely suits him. He is more of a left wing back than a left back at this point. The only thing you've got to watch is that high-low. You don't really want to be going in a free, kind of like a 4 at the back, because you know you're always going to have 3 defenders there, unless your left mid's going to drop back, at which point it depends on if you even need one. I think you should definitely go for 5 at the back with this guy, and I think the Bundesliga definitely suits that sort of play. The defenders are relatively quick. You've got Lacroix, Upamecano, you've got, I don't know the name of him, but the inform for Leipzig, I think the Croatian, I want to say, very quick centre-backs, and then you have the wing-backs that are fantastic. And Babu is another one. I think Mukiele is not terrible. He is more kind of solid more than pace, but I think Davies for me, a solid card. I don't know what I've just clicked, but a solid card nonetheless. I don't even know how to get out of this. What on earth is going on? We're in the FIFA career mode database. Well, that's fantastic. Right, let's go back out of this. Don't even know what that is. So in terms of Davies, I think he is a solid card. Obviously, when he starts to settle, he'll be even better, which I would wait at least a few days. Let the packs kind of flow, let the rewards happen, because before then, he will drop down more and more. I probably see him, I want to say below 250 at some point, but we will wait and see. He could go even lower. Personally, this market is quite a low one in terms of every card other than your Mbappe's, your Ronaldo's, your Salah in form. And instead of them, these cards just tend to go down loads. We saw it with Rulebreaker 1, we saw it with Road to the Knockout and One to Watches. Unless it's insanely meta and very hard to obtain, they just drop. They just genuinely do. For me, Davies is a 10 out of 10 left back, 100%. Like I say, the only thing you do need to just watch is that low defensive work rate. Other than that, the card is absolutely fantastic. So hopefully you did enjoy. Like and subscribe. See you all for the next one. Peace.